What's going on, guys? Today we're talking about why Giannis is definitely the MVP over LeBron. Let's get into it. So I think the main argument that people have for LeBron winning MVP is he's in his 17th season. He just had a career year in assists. He's still performing at a top level. He's 35 years old. And people were doubting them, saying they were probably going to end up as like the 4 seed because last year didn't go so well with Lonzo, Ingram, Josh Hart still on the team. Although LeBron got hurt and didn't play the second half of the season, people seem to forget that the Lakers were the 4 seed before he got hurt. But anyways, I don't really see how any of these arguments could really put him over Giannis. Looking at all the stats, all the advanced stats, watching the games, you could tell that Giannis has a greater impact on both ends of the floor. I think I should also mention that LeBron's playing next to another top 5, top 10 player in the league in Anthony Davis, and they have some decent role players around them, but they're definitely not as deep as the Bucks. Now, looking at what Giannis has done this season, he had one of his best seasons shooting from 3. He only shot 30%, which is obviously not great, but it's Giannis, so he only needs to be able to make a couple. This season, he was taking almost 5 threes a game, which is by far the most he's ever taken in a season. Like I said, he only hit them at 30%, but that's actually his best shooting season since his rookie year, where he shot almost 35%, but that was only on 1.5 attempts. It definitely seemed like this year he was way more confident taking the 3, especially taking the ball up and just shooting it in his defender's face. Now, if we want to compare his shooting numbers to LeBron's shooting numbers, his true shooting percentage is definitely better than LeBron's, which if you didn't know takes into account the 3 ball, the 2, and free throws. Giannis had one of his most efficient years with a true shooting percentage of about 61, compared to LeBron, who's sitting at about 57-58%, which is still really good. It's just that Giannis was obviously more efficient. When looking at the rest of the stats and the advanced stats, it shows that Giannis was better in pretty much every category. He had a usage rate of 37.5, and he only had a turnover rate at 13.2, while LeBron had a usage rate of 31.5 and a turnover rate of 15.1, meaning Giannis had the ball in his hands more and turned the ball over less than LeBron. On top of that, Giannis is one of the best rebounders in the league. He was second in rebounds behind Drummond at 13.6 a game. He's in the top 20 for offensive rebounds, and he's number 1 in defensive rebounds. He's an elite post scorer, sitting just outside the top 10. He only averaged about 5 or 6 assists, but that's definitely because most of the time when he's driving to the basket, he's scoring. Obviously, when he gets walled off, he has great 3-point shooters around him like Chris Middleton, Wesley Matthews, Brook Lopez. Bledsoe could hit a couple threes. DiVincenzo hits threes. Pretty much the whole team can shoot. And I can't forget about George Hill and Kyle Korver. So obviously that helps his playmaking, but it's the gravity that Giannis has that allows him to be the playmaker that he is. When he's driving to the basket, the entire team is watching him. It's similar when Steph has the ball in his hands because you have to guard him as soon as he crosses the half court. Obviously, Giannis isn't a shooter like Steph, but when he drives to the basket, he draws attention just like Steph does. And on top of that, for a guy who has such a high usage rate, he doesn't turn over the ball as often as you think he does. And I haven't even mentioned his defense yet. He's a Defensive Player of the Year candidate, possibly the best defender in the NBA. He could defend on the perimeter, he could defend in the paint. It doesn't matter who he's defending. He locks up pretty much everyone. LeBron can play great defense too, but not nearly at the level Giannis could play for as long as Giannis could do it. In LeBron's prime, yeah, he was an amazing defender, but clearly he's not in his prime anymore, and he has to choose when he wants to be that amazing defender. Obviously, things might change for the playoffs. We've seen LeBron turn up his defense in the bubble already, but the MVP is just based on the regular season. I think it's important to note that the Bucks were the best defensive team in the league with a defensive rating of 102.5, which is well above the Raptors, who are sitting almost at 105. Lastly, I just want to mention that Giannis just recorded the highest PER in NBA history, which if you didn't know, PER measures a player's efficiency. He had a PER of 31.86, which is right above some of the best seasons from great players like Wilt, MJ, and LeBron. In comparison, LeBron had a 25.5 PER this season, which is still good, but just not the level Giannis was at. With that being said, I hope that's enough evidence to prove to you that Giannis is definitely the MVP over LeBron, and it's not really that close. That's gonna be it for this video. Thank you for watching. Leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't already, check out my other videos, and I'll see you in the next one.